Fearless Pioneer.
Yo, what is going on, guys? EJ here, bringing another Lord of the Rings Rise of War video. Today, guys, we've got some more information about Season 6. First off, we're just going to be doing a breakdown of the map, explaining a few things more in depth now that we know more information and stuff like that. Basically about where you can start and the breakdown of the zones and the regions and everything. And then we're going to look at some new features that have just been released, which are absolute crazy. Like, you'll have to wait to see them. For example, you can now buy troops, for example. So yeah, pretty wild. Alright, so the first thing we're going to get into, guys, is the map. Now, I've talked about this in the previous videos before. As you can see, we've got the map here. Now, you're going to have like these 9 big zones, the 8 starting locations plus the ring location, which is in like the orangey red color there. Now, you'll be able to pick one of these 8 starting locations, and then you'll be able to pick the sub-regions, which I'll give you some examples of. For example, down here, you can see on this picture here, we have Harad and some of the sub-regions of how Harad is broken up into. But I made this picture of this overlaying picture that you can see now of basically the regions with the sub-regions blended in. And this is going to give you an example of how all the maps broke up into those 90 zones and everything like that. Further touching on the map, I just wanted to show you this picture here. This picture here shows you all of the control points and the major control points and the sub-control points, all on the entire map spread out to give you an idea. Like we can see there, we have Eastern Harad Keep. It shows you all the things like the siege defender level and the amount of defenders there, for example, and it's 600 power an hour for your ring. Then we have this picture down here, guys, which shows us basically how scout towers and that look on the map. They look like little triangles, and you can see them in this section, for example, on the map here. And basically it just shows it's going to be really super easy. 1,000,000 siege, level 20 defenders, 6 of 6 armies. Yeah. Once you've out, after a week or so, people will be able to take them singly by themselves. Super easy. Hopefully they buff that. They do tend to make some changes sometimes from this information given out, but this information was given very recently, so we'll have to see if there was any changes there. We'll quickly, basically, I've already talked about like all these keeps and that are going to have like things like special abilities where it can increase like grain production, durability and stuff like that, so I won't go too much about that. But I can tell you now that the scout towers will be different levels, so there can be weaker scout towers and there can be higher levels, like a level 3 scout tower, like you can see in this picture right here, guys, which has 15 million siege, level 35 defenders and 15 of 15 armies protecting it, which looks like it's down there near the Bay of Belfalis, down on the Umbar coast there in one of the new regions. The last thing I really wanted to talk about was a couple of things. So basically, I've talked about all the new ring abilities and stuff like that. Like, for example, Persuasion. I'll show you this one. Basically, you will be able to take over mobs and then get the mob to attack for you. Now, depending on these mob levels, they could have tier 4 troops. Now, that is going to be saying, will these guys on the mobs only have, when they're tier 4, Swan Knights and the War Chariots, or they're going to be different ones? So that is pretty interesting there. So we'll have to see if you'll be able to control different tier 4 troops with the mob persuasion takeover. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about in today's video is there's some new things in that coming to Season 6, which is very interesting. So, as you can see here, we have these things here, as like it says, surprise, people in the land have found something valuable, go to these coordinates. And these are going to be map random events. So, there is these different map random events. The first one we have here is a conflict. Now, this type of map event will occur on your occupied 2x2 power land. You send out a unit marching to the target land and consume some gold to quell the conflict, even to obtain some resources and ring power as a reward. So, you're going to be able to gain ring power and resources. It will cost you gold, but yeah, this is another way you'll be able to increase your ring power. So, very interesting. The next one is called Surprise. This type of map event is triggered and is occupied on a 1x1 power land, Mistress Spring. or Mysterious Spring, however you want to pronounce it, Uncanny Effigies, and Neutral Unit Camps. Once this event's appeared, you may check for tavern tips to find it and tap on the go button and direct to the land to tap to investigate. And when you investigate it, you can find things like example, once again, of things like resources and ring power. The big one, now this is the crazy one, guys, that I want to talk about. We have Wandering Opportunities. This is very interesting. This type of map event will appear on your occupied lands except main hall control point, neutral unit camps, fortresses, crossings and tunnels, etc. You might meet the mercenary boss, the roving trainer, or the war master. Randomly checked out what can be given. Let's have a look, shall we? So, the mercenary boss, consume some gold to train for units directly. So, you can pay this guy gold and you can get units directly without training them on the spot like that, guys. So, that's pretty crazy. The next one we have, guys, is going to be the roving trainer, which gains some battling buff from his freely like soldier's death rate, 50% after the unit battle. So, basically, you're going to be able, if you find him, after a battle and you lose your soldier's death rate, you get 50% of them back. That's pretty crazy. And the last one, guys, is the War Master. You can bump into him and basically he can give you the ability to upgrade your skills on your troops, which is absolutely crazy, like a free buff, so to say. Now, just letting you guys know with these Wandering Opportunities, these events will disappear after 12 hours. Since it or when it started, so they're going to be sort of like on a mob kind of timing, so to say, how mobs disappeared and go away like every 12-18 hours and stuff. But yeah, that's today's video, guys. I wanted to let you guys know that new information. I could have just rambled on about other stuff as well, but I've already covered pretty much everything else, so I just wanted to do a bit of that deeper breakdown of the map and then show you these new stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, peace out, EJ's out. And I'll catch you guys later. See ya.